Hello. For a very long time, as long as I can remember, there are these core feelings that I wouldn't say feelings, but core thoughts that I repeat to myself constantly that causes a lot of pain in my body. In recent years, that story repeats itself less often, but it does repeat itself. And that is the feeling of I'm not good enough, I don't fit in, I don't belong anywhere, and I'm not loved. And I noticed these stories coming up again in the last few days. And as one does, if we're not vigilant, we go down that rabbit hole and it takes you deep into deep, dark places that we probably really wouldn't even imagine, but let alone experience. But I went there and I came back and I recognized, or perhaps I started to reflect as to why I seem to keep going back into the story over and over again. Perhaps it is my life lessons, core life lesson, and it is what it is. But it got me thinking that the reason why these stories keep repeating itself is because there is a disconnection at some level present in my body. And truth be told, it's only disconnection that encourages these thoughts of not being loved enough, or that I don't fit into a community or a family or a group, etc. There's a feeling of disconnection. And I started to wonder, where does this disconnection lie in my body? And how is that getting reflected into the story that's been playing out and into the people that are in my life or not in my life? And I realized that I sometimes disconnect from my own heart. And when that happens, that disconnection happens to show up in my life with full intensity. Now, sometimes I go looking for an external source to fill that connection up. And other times I'm too afraid and I hide some more and build some more armors around me. All these are unconscious behaviors, and I can't imagine that I'm the only one experiencing these, perhaps at different ranges and intensities. But I hope I'm not the only one. And if I am, then I'm definitely doing something wrong. But I'm here to talk about this disconnection that I can feel so strongly in my body. And I started to reflect on how much of this disconnection is my own and how much of this disconnection is present everywhere and around us right now, within each one of us, and also within the environment globally that we find ourselves in. So much of this disconnection goes straight into the core of my being, and it shakes the very foundation on which I reside, on which I live. And this is not a solution for how to move through the disconnection, but a true acknowledgement of this disconnection. Because I believe that the way that we can move through this is together, in acceptance and acknowledgement of what is really causing us a lot of pain, and what is really causing us to feel so isolated or alone or disconnected from ourselves and each other. And just in saying and acknowledging it, there is an honoring of disconnection having a place in this world. Because without disconnection, we wouldn't have connection. And this is the duality of life we live in. And believing that the disconnection has its reasons for showing up. And my only task in this is to be absolutely vigilant and to know not to create stories when it shows up in my life, but to be fully humbled by its presence and find a way to breathe through them and to find a way to let it be. I really hope you found this valuable in some way. At least I did, by voicing what has been moving through my body in the last couple of weeks and feeling courageous enough to share this with you. So I thank you so much for listening, and I will see you again soon. My name is Pavitra. Bye-bye.